respond live on what the NBA needs to do following Russell Westbrook's confrontation with a fan in Utah. Plus, Adam Schefter in studio with why this man is very happy today. SportsCenter, coast to coast. Me and Kerry Champion, top of the hour on ESPN 2. For now, we send it back to First Take.
Thank you, David. For the second year in a row, the Patriots are losing their left tackle. According to our Adam Schefter, Trent Brown has agreed to a 4-year deal with the Raiders for $66 million with $36.75 million guaranteed. The deal makes him the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL by annual salary. Max, is the deal bigger for the Patriots or the Raiders?
The Patriots. This deal, I know a lot of people focus on the Raiders, Aaliyah, Stephen A. It's the Patriots. Look, the Patriots almost won a Super Bowl with Nate Solder as their left tackle, right?
Yeah.
They came a play away from winning the Super Bowl. Nate Solder's a free agent. See you later, Nate Solder. The Giants foolishly sign him and make him the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL. He's not that good. They draft Isaiah Wynn, the Patriots, in the offseason, and they trade for Trent Brown, who's a right tackle, and they play him at left tackle. Yeah. Isaiah Wynn gets hurt. Doesn't matter. They got Trent Brown to play. They win a Super Bowl behind Trent Brown. I like Trent Brown's pass block. They win a Super Bowl. Now, Trent Brown's time to get paid. See you later, Trent Brown. Now we're going to start Isaiah Wynn. Somehow Bill Belichick, and this is what being a GM is about, is able to properly price the commodities that are the players and not pay more, even when it seems it's in the best interest of the team short term. This is why the Patriots are great every year.
I don't disagree with a single word you said. There's no question about that. And when I saw the numbers, $66 million, about $36.75 guaranteed, this is a lot of money for an offensive tackle, left tackle. Obviously, you know, highest paid in history at that position, at least at this particular moment in time.
And he's good.
We get all of that. He's good. Here's why I will tell you it's big for Oakland, though. Because the combination of that left tackle, combined, even though you're taking Colton Miller, who you just raved about, and you're moving him from left tackle to right tackle, so now there could be some problems there. But the combination of this left tackle that you bring on board in Trent Brown, along with Antonio Brown arriving, particularly if they get anybody else, Derek Carr's on the clock. Because what they've done is they've invested in Derek Carr. Yeah. They've done everything they can to position him to succeed, which means he's going to have to show up walking around Oakland Coliseum, slapping high fives with fans and talking about how you will always love being a part of Raider Nation and how you never wanted to leave Oakland, even though you're en route to Vegas, supposedly, assuming you're still on a team, and all of that stuff ain't going to amount to a hill of beans if you don't show up this year and handle your business. This man had an MVP caliber season about 3 seasons ago before he went down. All right. He struggled the last couple of years or so. We get all of that. But I believe in his talent. I think Derek Carr can play. But we're going to find out.
When he had that really good season, you know what they had? What? An elite offensive line. And they just got an elite offensive lineman.
Yeah, and we'll see what they do at running back. Because the Marshawn Lynch experiment didn't really work out. And then
ain't his fault. If you don't have an offensive line, what's he supposed to do?
Just saying. Just saying. All right. That'll do it for us. Thank you guys for hanging. He is Stephen A. Smith. You got radio today?
Of course.
Cool.
And
Max, you got Boxing Friday?
Not this Friday.
Oh, really? Late last week, Michael Bennett told our Josina Anderson that he'll be traded from the Eagles to the New England Patriots during an appearance at Princeton University. Bennett said he was very excited to join the Patriots, but in his meeting with the Patriots executives, he said he will continue to remain in the locker room during the playing of the national anthem. Stephen A., is Bennett's anthem stance a big deal?
No, it is not. Eric Reed proved that because despite his support for Colin Kaepernick, his taking the knee, how volatile he was against Malcolm Jenkins with the whole Players Coalition thing on the field and beyond, the reality is that barely anybody really talked about it with Eric Reed. The story with the national anthem and the kneeling strictly involves Colin Kaepernick. He's the poster child for it. He's the individual that is identified with it most strongly. And anybody else who takes the position that he's taken has basically, for the most part, been ignored. I mean, we see them on camera. We recognize that they're taking the knee, but nobody really has had much to say about those other individuals. So Michael Bennett's stance, while appreciated, and he should be applauded for being honest and upfront about where he stands, and being resolute with his position, I don't think anybody is going to really bother him about it. I don't think anybody's going to really excoriate him in any way. The ire over the national anthem issue has been aimed in the direction of Colin Kaepernick. Everybody else that's been associated with it has been virtually ignored, and that's why I don't think it's a big deal.
That's exactly why it's a big deal. What you just said is because it's no big deal, right? That's a big deal. The NFL took my advice. I was saying from the beginning, this is how you handle this situation. Look, how did this whole thing arise with Kaepernick? He wasn't making at first a big public statement. He was a conscientious objector to rising for the national anthem and participating in the ceremony. The press got a hold of it and turned it into a big deal. And then it became a political football, so to speak, right? And then
I don't know if it was a big deal until the president.
No, it was
out.
already. We were already talking about it on this show.
I'm just talking
and
about
then
it.
It got even bigger as it became political, of course. And I heard from a lot of people, and the counter argument was, why are we using an NFL ceremony honoring the flag? Why does that become your moment to publicly protest? Well, my solution was, look, if the NFL doesn't want them to do that, how do you resolve this? On the one hand, to me, it becomes a bigger issue than just an NFL ceremony. It's a freedom of speech issue. Because if sitting for the flag or kneeling for the flag is a political statement, that means it's a form of speech, then standing is also. It's either, right, then they both are.
Right.
And if standing is, and your employer is telling you in order to be employed here, you must parrot my political speech, that's not American to me. I don't think that flies. And it's, by the way, it's not in the rules of the NFL either. It's supposed to not be compulsory. It's supposed to be, up to the players. So how do you do this? How do you stop it from being a public demonstration, political statement, and also allow the players to follow their own conscience, right? You say, if you're on the field, you have to participate. Okay, that's fair. If you don't want to participate, stay in the tunnel. That was my suggestion from the beginning. And by the way, it was criticized by some, but the fact is it works. If Michael Bennett doesn't feel right standing for the ceremony, we live in America still, right? He doesn't have to stand for the ceremony. But if he wants to be on the field, then you must participate in the ceremony. It's working. And the proof in the pudding is it's not a big deal.
Well, listen, it's not a big deal for another reason that nobody has brought up. And that is why, and this is the point that I don't believe has been made enough, guys. Kneeling for the national anthem, people try to act like that's the issue. No. The issue was why Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for the national anthem. The fact that he was brave and courageous and cogent enough to articulate his position as to why he was taking the knee for the national anthem, to bring attention to oppression, racial inequality in this country and beyond. The reason why I bring that up, compare that to Marshawn Lynch, who on many, many occasions has not stood for the national anthem. A matter of fact, there was one time they had him on video sitting on a cooler, eating a banana during the national anthem, and no one said a word. Why didn't they? Because Marshawn Lynch never took the position of articulating why he was sitting and not standing for the national anthem, which leads me to believe you didn't have a problem with Colin Kaepernick taking a knee for the national anthem. You had a problem with the reasons that he expressed as to why I'm not talking about you, of course. You had a problem, meaning the public. They had a problem with the reasons behind Colin Kaepernick taking the position that he takes, because if that's the case, you would have had a problem with Marshawn Lynch years ago when he sat for the national anthem.
The fact that this breaks down along racial lines has always been obvious. I mean, the numbers indicate that, the polling and stuff like that. But I disagree with one thing here. Colin Kaepernick was trying to bring attention. No, at first, it wasn't about attention. At first, it was conscientious objection. He felt he didn't want to participate in that ceremony so long as the degree of racial injustice as it relates, in his view, to police interactions with communities of color was ongoing. He felt he couldn't stand up for that.
Why can't I agree with that and still acknowledge that he was still trying to seek attention?
Well, the attention came to him.
But
that
you knew
point,
it was going to come to you if you did it on the field.
Maybe,
not
but
at
others.
That level,
no, right. And then it became an issue with culture, social justice warriors on the one hand, and eventually politicians for their own political ends on the other started bringing more attention to it. And at that point, you could say he was bringing attention to it, but it didn't start that way.
I don't believe that Colin Kaepernick thought that he would be blackballed from the NFL because of it. But I also don't believe that he thought the camera would just stroll by, people would see him taking the knee, and no one would have a response. Because the fact of the matter is that if you're taking a position on an NFL field, the #1 sport in our country right now, particularly from a ratings and eyeball standpoint, there is no way on earth you're taking that position on the field of play thinking that it would garner zero attention.
Did Marshawn Lynch believe it was going to garner attention?
I don't think he cared.
Well,
but again, we don't know because he's never spoken on it.
He made money off not speaking.
Right. Exactly. Even if you're right about the intention, the fact of the matter is the reason that I think you can defend the right to kneel, right? Like, hold on, the NFL can't make him stand.
I'll defend the right to kneel to the end of the day. Yeah, absolutely.
So the reason this solution is actually a fair one that the NFL, that I had suggested and the NFL has adopted, it works in that you cannot force people to participate in something that their conscience says, I don't want to participate in that. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, the NFL has a right to say, look, you can't use this ceremony to make a certain kind of political statement at that moment. It's working. Bennett doesn't have to stand. The NFL gets to have their ceremony. And the games are going on, and it's not garnering that much attention.
And it's not on the field because whether we like it or not, the NFL is a private entity. Obviously, public funds contribute to their fluency. But the bottom line is that it's a private industry. It's on the field of play. And if you're going to do something on the field of play counter to what they deem to be in the best interest of their product, they have a right to make a move and make a decision. So Michael Bennett, we credit him and applaud him for, taking the stance that he took. Yep. But he acquiesced to some degree because he certainly ain't talking about being out on the field doing
Can't be out on the field. That's against the rules now, and the rules are fair at this point.
Right.
All right, we got to get a commercial break in, but we got a few more other topics to hit after the break. Stay here. More First Take from NYC. Coming up, Manana, it's Happy New Year in the NFL tomorrow. Which teams have made the most of free agency? Will Kyler Murray's Pro Day Wednesday affect his draft stock? And LeBron and the Lakers haven't won since February. Will they bounce back tonight against the Bulls? First Take, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.